I think it's a bad blood thing. I think people just have this thing about Nigeria. I wouldn't Nigerians. Would I say some form of jealousy? Because Nigerians are very aggressive people in the sense that wherever we go to, we try our best to survive. We do everything. We work very hard. And really, in most parts of the world, Nigerians are actually prospering. Whether in the UK, wheresoever a Nigerian gets to, he does all his best to prosper. Nigerians work very, very hard. They do the dirty jobs. Not when I say dirty jobs now, I'm not talking about scamming or whatever. They do cleaning jobs while studying. They do all kinds of jobs just to keep themselves fit and okay. So I think one of the reasons I personally think is Nigerian, we have this whole bad blood thing against us. Even in Africa, not just in the West. I was in Ghana for some time, for like 2 years of my life. And I realized that even Ghanaians have the bad blood against Nigerians. Ghana is like very close to us, but you see Ghanaians saying they don't like Nigerians.
If you say you come from Nigeria and you say Ghanaian, you say Zimbabwean, you say Botswana, you say South African, I'm telling you, they will really attend to those guys before us. So far, you mentioned the name Nigerian. Just mention that you're Nigerian. I don't know how it happens. There's this kind of tag like I don't want to talk to you immediately. So then you begin to wonder why the name, even among the people of the same color. Even if you apply for a job from a Ghanaian, a South African, and then a Nigerian, they'll still attend to those guys before us. And I'm thinking my own way of thought now is that the name is the major thing. Now it's not really about you're black, then you're white or something. When it comes to being black in diaspora, Nigerians are seen as the worst set of people. Then I begin to wonder why this.
Yeah, in my own, because I've been following what has been happening in India with the Nigerians. It's not really a Nigerian thing. Most black people know when you go out, I think it's individual's mentality. When you go out, you don't have a purpose, so to say, of going there. You have to engage in some kind of dirty deals because you have to survive. It's not like in Nigeria where you have your relative that you can send to, like, okay, so and so send me something. When you are out, you are on your own, so to say, and you must survive. I believe these Nigerian guys, that area where those things happens in India, they engage in those kind of dirty things, drugs and stuff. So those guys are actually part of them. So like cartel, like what we have in Brazil, they have cartels. So within the cartels, there are some stronger groups. So the other guys, I think there are stronger groups than these Nigerian guys. So that was how the thing happens. Those Nigerian guys, they really engage in the dirty deals and they were caught in the act.
I think most Nigerians coming abroad over the years, they've really engaged in so many disappointing acts, which are not really emulating. I mean, talking to several people here, they will begin to tell you what Nigerians have done, the kind of acts, most of them ending up in prisons, taking drugs. Now, I'm thinking all these things would have been, it is preventable, of course, if we had done our assignments on time. If our people had been good abroad, we wouldn't have been seen like this. Because I think it's worse for us Nigerians than any other black nations. Of course, I mean, the discrimination is all about black people and stuff like that. But I think our own Nigerian people, I don't think it's about jealousy anymore. It now comes to a name that is false. It comes to a name that is, I don't think is renewable. It comes to a name that is so bad that you're ashamed to call yourself a Nigerian. So I've seen myself in so many instances. They will tell you it's not really your talent. It's not really about what you can do or what you cannot do. But I'm thinking people that come from your places, they don't have good habits. They don't have good way of living. They don't have this attitude, ethics, and stuff like that. So if you go to Australia, UK, US, Malaysia, go to anywhere, India, see Nigerian committing crimes and then spoiling names, spoiling the big name for the few people that are willing to do good with the Nigerian name. So that's my major point about it. And then the other factor is against the black nation. I'm thinking, there's this mentality among the white folks that the black people are meant to do the little things. They can't think, they can't do things very well and stuff like that. So I think that is another factor.
Nigerians committing fraud and that, it's not disputable, right? It's very certain that some people do not actually represent us well. But when he said that it's not because they are jealous of Nigeria, then I would have to disagree. I would agree with the two other people that spoke before him. The world actually is afraid of Nigeria. That is a fact. The world as a whole, not just a particular nation, the world is afraid of what Nigeria is going to become, right? So they would go lengths to suppress that thing. Even in the media, recently there's even this article that Abuja was built on stolen land, right? They will do anything possible to make sure they bring Nigeria down. It's not because we are too bad. I'm not saying we are not bad. It's because they are scared. All right, the word is Nigeria phobic. Now, the guy that said we commit crime, my friend here in Ukraine last night was beaten blue black. They beat him to the extent that I don't know why. He did not commit any crime. He's a student, just as myself. Here also in Ukraine, there's this guy, one Ola Olufemi.
Mhm.
They held him in detention for
One
over
year
a
plus.
year for self-defense, right?
Yeah.
This thing we are talking about, it is not necessarily because we are corrupt or we are bad.
For we to be respected in abroad, our government have to wake up. Because if your government is not showing interest that you are somebody, you are important to them, others will not take you serious. Like see what happened in the UK. I know most of the government officials they reacted because UK is one of their home that they go to buy
Mm.
houses and visit. Like that 3,000 something pound down. The legislators they are talking about it because it is something that is going to affect them as well. So if our government is trying to interfere in things like this, Nigerians will be respected abroad. Like, like let me refer you back to the under 17 World Cup. When you go to the stadium, you see a lot of Nigerians. And if, as a black, if you are walking on the street of UAE, they will ask you, "Are you from Nigeria?" "Oh, well done. You guys are good in football. You guys are amazing." When I was in stadium in Abu Dhabi that day, it's like Nigeria was playing at home. So if we try to love ourselves as one nation, as one people, I don't see any reason why people will treat us bad.
If we blame these people who are in their countries, we also blame our government, right? Because even when our own governments would not treat us like human beings, how do you expect them to treat you as such? Right? I believe in these countries we have embassies. Our embassies in these countries, they're not just there to be giving out what's it called, passports and all. They are like a representation of Nigeria in that country. So when these embassies do not, when they fail to throw in their weight as representatives of Nigeria, these things will continue to happen. It's not because we are the only people that commit crime. Other people commit crime. I think it's because we are the only people that are being neglected. Our embassy in Canada some months ago, they were not functional. That's where Ojoma Dweko was supposed to be. He was not in his office. Nobody was at the embassy. Okay, let's imagine a situation where something would happen to a Nigerian in Canada, and then you want the embassy to come to your rescue. There is nobody there at the embassy. Now they would continue to victimize you. Good. Our embassy in Turkey, the same thing. Nigerians protested on the first day of October, I think, when we were supposed to be celebrating our independence. It's not because we are the worst people. It's because they are scared of us. That is just the fact. The world is Nigeria phobic, and the sooner they begin to accept the fact that Nigeria actually is coming up, it would be better, right? If we do not want to care about the fact that the government pays little or no interest into the affairs of the citizens, right? It is just there. Whenever they mention that you're a Nigerian, there is tension. There's a very palpable tension in the air. Just because you're Nigerian, you have not done anything, but because the name is mentioned, everybody starts to feel uncomfortable. Not because you are a bad guy, you are not wielding any weapon, but because you're Nigerian. People who have been slacking, they put up their game. They just want to put up to match you just in case you're about to do something. They are just scared of you, right? It's not because you are bad. It's because you are Nigerian. You have it in you to make things happen. You have it in you to be wonderful. You have it in you to be able to unify things, right? You have over 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria, and we are still together. So it baffles them that a nation like this would produce people like this that will move outside their country to go to other countries. It's something for them to get afraid of. If you come to Kharkov, you can see Nigerians owning businesses in Kharkov here in Ukraine, one of the biggest markets you have in Eastern Europe. You see Nigerians owning businesses there, and they will be scared of you. Why? You're a foreigner. You come to their land and you are this prosperous. It's like, wow. So whatever they would have, they will bring it to pull you so down, right? They would make sure that I don't know, they project you in so bad a color that nobody will want to look at you again.
I haven't seen any country that is blessed like Nigeria. We are blessed. We have everything it takes to be more than any country in the world. Just government is trying to do things in a way whereby our people even travel to places like India to do what? What is in India that we don't have in places like Nigeria or any part of Nigeria? So it's also the same time is this mentality of I want to go to abroad because there are no jobs. If you can survive in places like India, you can also survive. You will be chief in Nigeria. So if our government can try to put some policy, I think that will let other governments and other nations to stop harassing Nigerians as a common criminals.
Very well there, a discussion filled with passion. But don't forget, the full version is on our website, channelstv.com, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/channelsweb. Time for another break, but when we return, we will look at some of your comments from Facebook, Twitter, as well as Google Plus before reviewing the 5 most viewed videos on our YouTube channel for the past week.